What is going on? I'm zmoT, and today we are going to be doing some War Factory goodness. Now, as you can see here, we've got all sorts of rocket choppas loaded. I just started loading them a little bit late. We're going to try to use all rocket choppas. Might work, might not. Let's have a look, see what Gearhart has for us. Now, the great thing about rocket choppas is they are not grabbed by all of the grabblers. The bad thing is we're going to have to deal with the boom cannon, the shock blaster, the laser, and the other shock blaster. So I don't know if we can get all that stuff down, but then if we get over into here, they outrange machine guns. So we should be able to make quick work of this. Burning through that shield could be a problem, but we're just going to load up these troops, see what we can do, and see if we can use these rocket choppas to simplify things a little bit. Now, first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to drop all of our troops right in here underneath this smoke, and then we're going to move up into here. Brick is already gone, and then we're just going to shock some things. So we're hoping to use brick to make things a little bit easier, but that did not happen. But so far, we're getting some good value out of these rocket chopper dudes, and we're going to go for the shock blaster next because shock blasters do a bit more damage than lasers do. And now we can get rid of this laser. And just a reminder, these are low-level rocket choppers. We are talking about level, I don't even know, we're HQ18, so they're probably level 17 or something like that. And now you see, we're just cruising right along. I need to back up because they keep getting into weird battle formation, which is not helpful at all. Those machine guns are doing a little bit of damage to us. I think maybe medkits might work on rocket choppas. Looks like maybe they do. Yeah, okay, they do. Sorry, I had no idea. Anyways, as you can see here, all we really have to worry about at this point is we're getting too close to those machine guns, getting too close to those snipers on the right-hand side. Otherwise, this could be your opportunity for your first ever War Factory solo if you're a low level. I kind of doubt we can burn through that shield in one attack, but we can go and just clear as much as we can. Nothing ranges these things. Rocket choppas are the perfect troop for this War Factory because all of those if we had all riflemen, for example, those grapplers would just be grappling us and moving our troops and crushing our hopes and dreams. So having rocket choppas on this War Factory just makes things so much easier. As long as we don't get in range of those snipers or that rocket launcher at the top or the shock blaster, we should be absolutely golden. Now you could go back there and hack that rocket launcher, which would give you access to get rid of all of those shield gens fairly easily, but I am not going to go that route. We're just going to let our rocket choppers kind of just hang out in here. They're going to keep clearing for us. They're not doing a ton of damage, and we haven't even touched the core yet, but we still have 4 more attacks. So the fact that we're this close to the core, and we're only on our first attack, I think that rocket launcher, yep, just turned towards us. So now it's time to get the heck away from there. And then just cruise on in. Now, one thing to be a bit concerned about, if we were to flare the core right now, the rocket choppers would move close, and then as soon as that flare expired, they would go shoot random things. So we're just going to let them clear as much as they can, and then just let them shoot the core when they're ready to, at their own darn leisure. So at this point, we're just going to barrage and artillery all of the things. I am not going to subject you to sitting here for a minute 16 as our rocket choppers clear towards the core. We've only lost 2 rocket choppers, folks. I mean, this attack did not start off very well. Brick got grabbed. We lost. Our shocks and smokes weren't all that well timed, and already we're just crushing this core. So do use rocket choppas. I know that some of you might not have had good experiences with them thus far, but I gotta say, use them. And we are not gonna go for the core quite yet. We might come back with Zookas just because my patience is running quite low on this low DPS rocket choppas. We just lost one more, by the way, as you can tell by the hot pot popping up. It means that we just got some fresh new Zooka faces. And now that the grappler is done, I'm going to retreat. We cleared this entire bottom area as a low-level, unboosted, no problem at all. So you can smoke rocket choppas just to get them a little bit close to where you want them to be, but don't leave them underneath smoke. I'll show you quickly on what I meant by that. So you'll see in my attack right about here, I get my rocket choppas somewhat close, and then I let them come out of smoke. Am I letting them come out of smoke? They're not going to stay underneath one smoke. You can't tell them to do it. They don't want to do it. They're kind of like bombardiers. Or grenadiers. They don't like to stay underneath one smoke. So now that that's done, we're going to come in and should we get rid of this grappler? I think we're going to, because getting rid of this grappler right here, nothing should be able to range us. And we're going to come in here, get rid of this grappler, and that's going to allow us to bring Brick in with our Rocket Choppas. Need to back up a little bit before we lose one to that sniper tower, but otherwise just super, super simple. No strategy required. We just lost one more Rocket Choppa, and now we can just cruise along the shore back over into here. And hopefully, let's throw a smoke for that Rocket Choppa. And now we can just bring Brick out, and we can head right on into about here. We're going to throw, actually, you know what? What's that thing called? That boom surprise is going to pop up in about 3, 2, 1. Almost lost Brick, thankfully did not. And now we can just move over into here, get our Rocket Choppas on some, what is that called? Battle orders. And now just cruise on in. Easy peasy, no big deal here at all. All of our troops just crushing the core slowly but surely. It's going to take a long time to burn through that core using Brick, folks, and using those Rocket Choppas. If you wanted to right now, you could bring in some Zookas just to speed things up a little bit. I will not be doing that because Rocket Choppas all the way, and I don't want to spend the diamonds. If you zoom in on that shield, you'll see it is moving ever so slowly. So an easy takedown in 2 attacks. Now, you don't need to go get that grappler right there. There's no real advantage. I just wanted to bring Brick in and have Brick do something useful. Most likely, what we should be doing is bringing in Kavan with our troops. That way we can get all sorts of rifles that will help burn through things. You know what? Let's do that. We're going to lose a couple Rocket Choppas as we do this because I didn't think about their retreat path. So if you're going to do stupid things, try and think them through a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to lose some troops like I just did. So, not terribly smart. Don't bring in Brick, I don't think, is the answer of the day. We're going to bring Kavan. We're going to bring Second Wind. Cavan? Forgot. We're going to call him Cavan from now on. Now, all of the things can just cruise on in. Cavan's going to bring us all sorts of troops. We're going to get Second Wind rocking and rolling. And that is... The riflemen are going to help us burn through the shield. A lot of times, for example, on a base like Hardcore, people don't think to bring Kavan in because Kavan generally sucks. But there are a couple fairly decent uses for Kavan, and one of them is bringing back some extra firepower. So, I just threw a flare where I didn't want to throw a flare trying to get ready to zoom. That was not awesome either. So lots and lots of mistakes here for me this morning. But we're still just cruising easily and quickly through War Factory. So hopefully this helps you get War Factory down in an easy manner, because this is not a difficult War Factory if you use the Rocket Choppas. Now you're wondering why I'm shocking those Rocket Choppers, as I have a bit of a whistle tooth there. That way our riflemen can get nice and close and clear a nice little hole for themselves. Otherwise they're all going to die as soon as those sniper towers come unshocked. So we're getting a little bit of extra health, a little bit of extra damage from these riflemen. Not a ton. We've lost Kavan, but we don't have any GBE to use him anyway, so not a big deal. You can see the pink zombie crew helping us blast away that core. Could have potentially waited until we lost a Rocket Choppa and brought back some Zookas, or we could have just loaded a boat of Zookas instead of loading all of the Rocket Choppas, but that wouldn't be in the spirit of today's War Factory challenge. So hopefully this has helped you. This went way better than I ever would have imagined. Low-level Rocket Choppas just absolutely crushing War Factory, burning that shield slowly, but it doesn't matter how quick you solo it as long as you solo it. This obviously was not a solo. Probably could have got it in 2 easily, but figured I'd retreat just to show you guys another strategy for using Kavan. If you are going to use Kavan, do go get that grappler, otherwise it's going to ruin your attack. So, a couple little tips to get you an easy War Factory finish. Anyone can beat War Factory this week. Normally I say something like, you need XP47 or you need such and such. Today, every single person who has Rocket Choppers can beat War Factory. Just focus on those primary defenses down here, and then you will absolutely crush it. So we sped time forwards a little bit. Same attack, just did not want to have to drag all of you all through watching the shield burn ever so slowly. It's going to be a little bit stressful, though. I do love a nice stressful finish. I don't know if we're actually going to get this down. Now, it's not actually stressful because we have 2 more attacks, but a little bit of manufactured stress is never a bad thing. That's probably the best kind of stress, I suppose. Anyways, let's go. 18, 17. You can see the timer. I don't need to tell you what it says. I think we are going to get it, though. Love it, love it, love it. So close with 6 seconds to spare. The core goes kaplowy and the crowd goes wild. Speaking, not my strongest point. You know what? We're going to do one more attack with max level rocket choppas because you get more of them and we can do more damage. Just stick around. Back in a second. Just like that, we are back. Now, I had a ridiculous operation attack using this troop combo, so stick around. I will show it at the end of this attack because it was absolutely amazing, and I gotta say, it's one of those things where I said, what if it works? And it did. So mind-blowingly amazing, and I look like a genius even though it was mostly a mistake. So I'm not going to take full credit for that one. We are going to send Bullet out, and we'll use Everspark. She's going to bring us some critters that might be useful. Don't know. Let's just get in. Don't need to scout. We've been here before. Now we need to go 8 right into here. We're going to throw a smoke, and then we are going to throw a shock right about there and a shock right about there. Should not lose any troops, I don't think. So as soon as that, what is that thing called? As soon as that flare expired, we're going to drop this in right about here. And now, I think we've actually already lost. No, we didn't. Why did that hot pot pop up? I'm a little bit confused by that because we haven't lost a troop. So why did the hot pot, it's not called a hot pot. There will be at least 4 of you that will say, that's not a hot pot, Zed, you're stupid. I know, thank you, I appreciate it, but I get it. I always call Boom Surprises hot pots for whatever reason. I guess because they're literally the same thing, figuratively the same thing. Let's go. Should be an easy solo for all of these rocket choppas. Everspark is been pulled to the very front. Thankfully, she's pooping out critters as fast as she possibly can in an attempt to stay alive. So far, so good for her. I don't know how long she's going to be able to stay at the front lines, but she is absolutely doing fairly well. All of her critters are helping keep our rocket choppas alive. Also, we're dropping some more critters in there. Now, one thing to be aware of, you'll notice that I did not drop Everspark until that first building that was flared went down. That is fairly important. Otherwise, she's going to follow the flare, and she's going to die very early in the attacks. So, now, one other note is people have been asking how much damage rocket choppers do per second, and I was blown away by the answer simply because it is stupid, stupid, stupid. Also, stick around for that. I'll show you that in a second. Hoping to get the all rocket choppa solo. I said that low level, we're going to have a tough time burning that shield. As you can see here, max level rocket choppers. We have 16 of them instead of 7, and they are just crushing that core. Not overly quickly, but it should be more than fast enough. So I got 2 things to show you after this attack, so do stick around. I know a lot of you like to tune out after the first early stages of the video. I'm going to have a sip of coffee as I watch this shield burn. Enough rambling for the second. Now, you can always tell it's me because for some reason, I've always thrown a smoke on the core. Typically, I try and throw it as the core explodes to make it look as if the smoke was the final damage maker, which has confused some of my subscribers over the many, many years. All rocket choppa solo, losing 0 troops, so do not sleep on rocket choppers. They are way, way better than people give them credit for. They're not as good as Zookas on operation attacks, but they are pretty darn great, and they have a lot of neat uses. So first of all, going to show you how to find the rocket chopper's damage per second. Let's quickly skim over here to the armory. Now, if you have a look at the rocket choppers, you'll see they don't show their damage per second. Now, this was mind-blowing. So thank you to all of you who commented. Look at this. You just need to scroll down. Talk about terrible user interface. You just have to scroll down. That blows my mind. I didn't even think to do that because there's no scroll bar. It's stupid, but the info is there and you can click on it. Moving right along, going to quickly show you my operation attack on conveyor, just so you get an idea of what the heck was going on here. So conveyor, lots and lots of ways to do this. I'll let you have a look at this to see how you would do it with Rocket Choppas, and then I'm just going to show you what I did. So farming GBE at the shore with Rocket Choppas works incredibly well, better than Bombardiers in many cases because you don't have to worry about them. And then we're throwing all of our GBE on those back rockets. And then as soon as we start to get into range of those rockets, we drop some warriors. Now, why warriors? A, because they're fast, and B, because they cost 0 GBE. Now, watch this. We're going to get going over into this right corner, and look at this. No smokes required for the Rocket Choppas. This guy decides to ignore the flare, and it's going to be to his death at that point. And then look at this. Same thing again. We're going to get onto those back sniper towers. The warriors giving us all sorts of free gunboat energy. So this was an unboosted solo on deep cut, and we would have never had enough gunboat energy without those warriors. So it was ridiculous, it was stupid, but you know what? It worked, and that was the important part, that we managed to get those warriors to save us all sorts of gunboat energy. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I can tell you, you've probably never seen a warrior rocket chopper solo on deep cut before. But that's the beautiful thing about these troops, is that they bring something new to the game, and you'll see that that shock wasn't required, and then I realized that later on and waited until the next couple buildings went down and then threw in the shock. And you'll notice that we had to back flare them, and then some of them start shooting stupid things like flamethrowers. And now watch this flare. As soon as this flare expires, I was talking about and you'll notice some of them shoot backwards, which is also ridiculous. As soon as that flare expires, a bunch of these rocket choppers go shoot stupid things. So watch this, 3, 2, 1, and now they start shooting flamethrowers. So just be aware they do have Scorcher logic. They're going to start shooting other defenses unless you keep those flares alive. But conveyor solo warrior rocket chopper ridiculousness. Anyways, that is all from me. Do consider hitting me up in the comments. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe and smash that bell and all that sort of YouTubey junk. I'm going to keep my sculptor going because I am far, far, far behind, as you can see by the fact that I only have 8 powder. Now, what I like to do is, we have 2 main high-level task forces. Delta 9 is unboosted, Triangle 9 is full boosted, so I just swap my accounts back and forth. This one will farm unboosted and pull off ridiculous solos. The other one will do other things. So if you're looking for a task force, do consider hitting us up because we have a spot for you very, very likely, and it's better than your existing task force, most likely. Anyways, as always, thanks for coming in. I'm zmoT. Peace!